Hello and welcome back to the Trainers of the World Tournament. I'm your host DeltaTDS, and for match number 122, we've got the Hall Matron Argenta going up against the former Indigo Elite Four Pokemon trainer Agatha. Argenta currently has a 4-0 record. She beat Shielbert, thank God, back in round 1 with a 2-0 victory, and in round 2, she beat Brawly in another 2-0 victory. As for Agatha, she started off in round 2 against Iris and won with a 2-0 record. So both trainers are currently undefeated. Argenta does have that unique Scyther and that Azelf. Agatha's got an Arbok that we haven't seen much. But once these trainers are ready, we can begin game number 1. Agatha leading off with that Marowak as Argenta leads off with the Azelf. From what I remember about this Azelf, probably not the best Pokemon to face off against Marowak. Zen Headbutt's going to do 40% to that Marowak as Azelf does get burned from that Flame Orb. Marowak unable to move due to that flinch. Zen Headbutt gonna miss that Marowak as Shadow Bone takes out that Azelf. God, we've been seeing a lot of unfortunate misses. Though technically this is happening before tomorrow's match. Argenta sends out that Metagross and gonna Mega Evolve it. Zen Headbutt's gonna do 55% to Marowak as Bonemerang takes Metagross down to 15%. I didn't spoil much, don't worry. Bullet Punch takes out that Marowak. And Agatha sends out that Gyarados, Pokemon from her Stadium 1 team. Intimidate's going to be pretty devastating for that Metagross. Switching out to the Licky Licky, Crunch is going to do about a quarter to it. Switching out to the Arbok, Intimidate not going to work on that Licky Licky as Thunder Punch paralyzes that Arbok, as well as doing 40%. Arbok paralyzes the Licky Licky as well. Body Slam takes Arbok down to 1%. Switching out to the Dragonite as Arbok is unable to move. Aerial Ace takes out that Arbok. And Weezing is sent out here. Argenta switching out to the Metagross to dodge that Sludge Bomb. I guess not dodge, but... Agatha switching out to the Gyarados. Zen Headbutt's gonna miss again. Won't say it. Switching out to the Licky Licky, Crunch is gonna do just under a quarter to it. Switching back out to the Weezing. Thunder Punch is gonna paralyze the Weezing as well. No, it doesn't. It's just lucky. Flamethrower doing just under a third to it. Body Slam's gonna do over a third to it. Flamethrower does 22% and Licky Licky's unable to move. Another Flamethrower does take out that Licky Licky, and it's currently a 4v4 right now. Argenta's sending out that Scyther. Gonna go for a Swords Dance as Weezing is unable to move. Aerial Ace is going to take out that Weezing, bringing Agatha down to 3 Pokemon, and sending out the Gyarados now. Removing one of those attack boosts from that Scyther. Aerial Ace is going to do 74% to Gyarados. Waterfall is going to do just under half to Scyther. Another Aerial Ace takes out that Gyarados. Agatha's got 2 Pokemon left. Sending out the Alakazam here. Psychic's gonna bring Scyther down to 3% as Bug Bite takes out the Alakazam. And it's all down to that Gengar. Gengar gonna Mega Evolve, and Shadow Ball takes out that Scyther, leaving Argenta with 3 Pokemon as she sends out that Dragonite. Dazzling Gleam is gonna do 37% as Dragonite sets up a Dragon Dance. Not fast enough, Gengar is able to take out that Dragonite. Sending out the Metagross here. Shadow Ball taking it out. It's all down to Torterra. Nutder Shadow Ball takes Torterra just above half health as Earthquake takes out the Gengar, and Argenta takes game number 1. Agatha's side, we've seen a move from everything. We saw the Mega Gengar. As for Argenta's side, we saw a move from every Pokemon. We are back on the field for game number 2. We'll see if Argenta can keep her undefeated win streak, or if Agatha can bring this to a game number 3. Agatha leading off with that Gyarados, as Argenta leads off with that Dragonite. Dragonite gonna be intimidated. Gonna go for a Dragon Dance to get rid of that attack drop, as Crunch does 15% to that Dragonite. Aerial Ace doing just under half to Gyarados, as Crunch does just under a third to Dragonite. Gyarados being brought down in range to use that Figgy Berry, and switches out to the Arbok to intimidate Dragonite again. Dragonite's going for a roost, getting rid of that flying type. Crunch is going to do 24% as Dragonite goes for another Dragon Dance and gets paralyzed, but eats the Lumberry and cures it. Aerial Ace takes out that Arbok, and Gyarados is sent back out to intimidate Dragonite once again. Aerial Ace doing just under 30% to Gyarados. Crunch gonna do just under a third to Dragonite. Agatha switching out to the Weezing as Dragonite goes for a roost, healing itself back up. Dragonite's gonna go for another Dragon Dance as Weezing goes for Sludge Bomb and poisons the Dragonite. Doesn't have the Lumberry to save it this time. Outrage does 60% to Weezing as it falls to another Sludge Bomb. And Agatha sends out the Metagross now. Get a Mega Evolve, set up a Light Screen. Shadow Ball is going to do just under a quarter to Metagross. Meteor Mash does take out that Weezing, bringing Agatha down to 4 Pokemon as she sends out that Marowak. Zen Headbutt's going to do 63% to Marowak as Flare Blitz takes out that Metagross, and Marowak is left with 14% health left. Argenta is going to send out the Scyther, and Aerial Ace does finish off that Marowak. And Agatha's going to send out that Gengar. Gonna Mega Evolve. Sludge Bomb's going to do just over a quarter to Scyther as Assurance deals 90% to Gengar. Sludge Bomb dealing 62% as Assurance finishes off that Gengar. And Agatha sends out that Alakazam. Psychic with a critical hit takes out the Scyther, bringing Argenta down to 3 Pokemon as she sends out the Azelf. We didn't see much other than a Zen Headbutt from Azelf. Shadow Ball takes out the Azelf. We're not going to see anything else for this game at least. As she sends out the Licky Licky. Alakazam's going to go for a Calm Mind. Body Slam's going to paralyze that Alakazam at 11%. Still faster. Psychic's going to do 60% to that Licky Licky as it falls to a Body Slam. And Gyarados, with the Waterfall, is going to not be enough to take Licky Licky out. And Thunder Punch finishes off that Gyarados, which means Argenta keeping the 2-0 consistent record. Going into round 4 with a 6-0 undefeated record, where she'll be facing off against the winner of yesterday's match, Ingo, in round 4. Join us tomorrow, where we will be seeing the Pokemon trainer Ryuki going up against the Kanto gym leader Lieutenant Surge. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, take care.